Uh, I want to talk about uh Resident Evil 4, the reimagined, and Spider-Man, the Venom that had been a while that hadn't gone on for a long time, and that the Spider-Man will have a cartoon. And there's like McMuffin playing mercenaries in Resident Evil 4 remake type of way, maybe. Resident Evil 4 remake mercenary McMuffin that looks like from the movies, but that's another thing. In the Resident Evil 4 will be um is fans of Resident Evil, like the OG Resident Evil, hasn't been focused for a long time and hasn't been released in the movie theaters, for example. That's the one example only. And so, like, grew up what Resident Evil will be. It will take long or not, but I think it will. In Spider-Man, like nobody like something about Spider-Man is a good thing. I'm fan of like the Spider-Man 2099. And the story I didn't know about the comic about the he was trying to make a point or make his mother happy. Spider-Man, because Aurora story canon of the comics, and it's kind of relate to. And the Resident Evil is different. Always been like a different story. I always kind of fall in love the story background and the characters. Like I follow up the story of the series, Resident Evil Zero, and I follow up the reimagine what will be. It's been a lot of up and down a lot lately. It kind of like, not listening to the fans maybe, and kind of like messing around type of way. It's like in the movies too, like Alice and stuff. Like fans want to see the original Resident Evil or story canon. And somehow, the CGI always been like serious until the last Walker Recon City. Is good, but the dialogue, only the Recon. And then what the reimagining will be for Resident Evil and Spider-Man always put things first. I see why Spider-Man was released in the US and later on Resident Evil started to put their characters and horrors on inspiration from other things. Spider-Man always been doing that, and I see why they're bringing back Ultimate Spider-Man. They kind of like, I don't know, like Marvel is doing. They care more about Spider-Man and stuff. I don't know how they treat the players or whatever. And like the movie that took like a long time, 4 years exact from '05 for Spider-Man verse. What have been released like each year or something like that, like how they did with Star Wars and Marvel, because you know they're aging and stuff, and that's why they Marvel did their thing, and they put Spider-Man, they put the superheroes close to the characters. Resident Evil hadn't, and there's a difference, no, between them. There's like Marvel versus Capcom, but really, I don't think Marvel has like no competition. That they really do know each other kind of, and but like I say, Marvel Spider-Man the cartoon, like it wasn't serious until they brought Superior Spider-Man out of nowhere. That got me in shock to see Superior Spider-Man in the show and kill off Peter Parker, but then came back. You know, Peter Parker that came back with Doctor Octopus and Venom finally went serious. It's been a while since the animation of Spider-Man. Get to see Venom again versus Spider-Man. Oh, very serious. Where it used to be on like TV, it still is, but it's on HD. But now they're on like a streaming service thing where you can watch it, and like there's some restrictions removing and stuff. Resident Evil, like they hadn't changed any like how different directors and stuff to do a Resident Evil properly the right way. Walker Raccoon City did, but and then they just the mansion only with the zombies, and that's it. But it's kind of like ripping off the players because it didn't release in movie theaters. In Death Island, the new one, the Resident Vandella. Like that's why I don't understand why they keep on switching producers. I know much about that. Why they keep switching, you know? That's why the CGI they always been the same, you know. It's just like the games and the remake, you know. The Resident Evil 0 was the example of all the CGI and the story plot, just like Resident Evil 6. Where it has to focus on the main character the more than just messing around and not focusing on the main character, so the viewer could see and wants to play, you know, and not like come like some. Resident Village is okay because they brought Chris Redfield and stuff, but they always change the story plot. They don't know which one is canon, which one is not, and they don't want to like see that anymore. So they see like this Chris Redfield in it. That's why they put the reimagined thing. But like I say, Spider-Man brought the Spider-Verse to series, you know, and there's a sequel. You know, there's a sequel on Spider-Man, and is difference between the difference between this and that. It's really different, you know. It's really different with the connections between the Resident Evil and the characters and the sequel of Resident Evil. It's been like a slap in the to the players to because of the Resident Evil Death Island and the Welcome Raccoon City also. The director mentioned in the interview they shouldn't have said it, but in the interview he said that um fans don't really want to see the canon. It doesn't have to, but would have put if they would have put like a Snyder cut where they could do like a Resident Evil or really a Birkin versus Nemesis because Kylo's to show up, but no, like kill off some characters, you know. They're still doing the kill off characters, you know, from Alice the movie where they kill Barry Burton from the characters of Resident Evil in the movie fiction, and and then they kill off Eriko from Bravo Team in the mansion. Like Eriko wasn't as a captain of Bravo Team, wasn't supposed to get killed off in that type of way. Supposed to be in Resident Evil Zero, you know. And you know, they like the movies is doing. There's like characters could look like them. You know, there's a One Piece live action, and Full Metal Alchemist. Two examples that could have get from to make. You know, the Spider-Man is being revived. You know, the comics, whatever. I'm not sure much. They're bringing back Spider-Man. They're bringing it back. It's different, you know. It's like hype train, but it's all started, and then it like started with Resident Evil. Started the hype train. Yeah, it did because maybe Marvel did. I don't know which one started the hype train with the movies, Iron Man and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, X-Men. I don't know about Resident Evil that started it. There's Superman also, Batman. There's no Red Hood. They put in a show only. The Spider-Man is like a good example. They always in their comics always has like some background story to tell of what the heroes is doing. And the Resident Evil has been just this, but then they have the same team from the movies. It hasn't done a proper, but then I see why. You know how they did with Marvel. You know how they did one of the like stunts persons that was Marvel did to that, and then they did to another player that is also the kind of a fan of Marvel, but also was a fan of like Resident Evil. And then they did that to them to the movie theaters. We're not releasing. How Resident Evil Vendetta was, and Resident Evil 4 remake. The DLC is good, but I don't think they will listen, you know. It's a 50-50, you know. Marvel probably will, you know. I'm just saying, like I'm a Resident Evil player. I should kind of be on Marvel. I always did with the Spider-Man, and the Spider-Verse too, and its stories, and I think they know a lot more. Like they were the first with no DC does with Batman and Superman to brought back series. You know, but they were just they kind of similar to Resident Evil DC universe because of their comics and Mortal Kombat. Well, not like too much, but maybe they are. But they did their own Suicide Squad. Good, you know, because they finally went serious and just goofing around. like they do with their shows, or maybe they make Superman feel, like decisions, whatever. And then Spider-Man went serious again because like I said, the old Marvel didn't got bought. And it has their cartoon series before. They have Spider-Man series. And then they decided to stay away for a while, and then they got bought, and now they put shows again. And that's why they have like then Star Wars 2 to come back. They have Anakin, yeah, and so like Spider-Man came back, Venom, um, the universe of Marvel 2. Don't they still belong to Marvel? That's the reason why the Spider-Man 2 is making. The Last of Us is different. The Last of Us is a different thing. And it will not be in the series. They will have a sequel. Like The Last of Us started a horror. They don't cut content. There is a director cut on The Last of Us, then Resident Evil. There's like a balance between them. Resident Evil 4 remake made, but they don't include like difficulty. There still is some featurings missing missing all the time. When some players asking, than myself, there is some players exist to talk about it, about this featurings or missing content or whatever. They probably Resident Evil 4 remake. They're not gonna put like chainsaw mode into Resident Evil 4 remake. Resident Evil 0 is a cool game. Like Resident Evil 3, there's remake doesn't have a director cut. That's why the producer made Resident Evil 3 was good. But hey, that's Resident Evil. They choose which one to put for Resident Evil 3 remake. And they did a good job, but didn't put a director cut because of the original Resident Evil team. We moved them from Resident Evil 4, M2, Resident Evil, M2 could do Resident Evil 0, Fans say once a Resident Evil, I don't agree with the OG Resident Evil or anyone about Resident Evil. I prefer M2. Did a good job, I'm kind of on not that side with M2 than just the original Resident Evil because the CGI is good, but like I said, the CGI is on its own, and on its own, they don't. It's harder. That's it to understand that they don't kind of listen to the players seeing what they're saying, and that it's on their own since this generation. This generation came out in the beginning, and then they went split for a while from the games from the original. Only Revelation 2 you have was the only thing, and they removed it, and then it took a long time. I don't know why it takes absent. It's not Dragon Ball Z, If it's Dragon Ball Z, for example, it's really Dragon Ball Z. It has to focusing on the OG players, because if they want Resident Evil to do well, it has to be the same as Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was absent. It was forever, and then you had to talk about Dragon Ball Z to return, and then Dragon Ball Z returned to the big screen, and they focusing on the OG players, or maybe new too, but maybe OG also, because it's very popular. Dragon Ball Z, Goku, and Super Saiyan, and Resident Evil did decide to change their style, focus, but then they made kind of not the same as Dragon Ball Z does. Dragon Ball Z is different, That's why they're focusing on the main OG players and not like kind of like a slap on like not allowing them to see Resident Evil on the screen, and the Dragon Ball Z is different. Or what if you could say something of the story, come back? You know, they're gonna bring it back in Super 2, to Dragon Ball Super 2. And Spider-Man is coming back. They could change Peter Parker if they want from a live action to someone else, so that it could be Spider-Man. Or if they're gonna do a reboot or something like that. I really hope they're gonna do a retelling of the superheroes again. And maybe a Black Widow 3. That'd be good. Because you know, without Marvel live action, you won't have any of our DC Batman or such. Without them doing a live action, you won't have any other series live action to appear. That's why, like, you know, One Piece and Ghost in the Shell live action. Ghost in the Shell came back. They're not renewing the season of Ghost in the Shell, you know. We just have to wait for season 3. Spider-Man 2 is gonna come out soon. It's because of Marvel, you know. It started the hype, even Resident Evil. But it took them long, and then they decided to do a live action TV and a anime, and that's it. That's the last time. And not like kind of focusing on the. I see why they put that on streaming service than in movie theaters, because that was the last time it was the creator that did the Resident Evil series, and have their name like with Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Code Veronica, and that's it, you know. If they hadn't touched or hadn't made Resident Evil by their name behind the scenes on the ending credit, that's why Resident Evil 0, like, Resident Evil 4 is not removed, you know, but they removed like Leon, OG superhero. Leon is still okay from Resident Evil 4, you know. And Resident Evil DLC is good, you know, they're doing a good job, but hey, don't forget that M2 started the Resident Evil 4 before they canceled it. And most all the Resident Evil players, such, was happy of that M2 was removed. I think it's wrong, you know. I think M2 did a great job with Resident Evil 3 Remake. They would have done director cut. They did a Resident Evil Resistance. They put Resident Evil Outbreak. They put Resident Evil Resistance. They see the Resident Evil Outbreak multiplayer exists, and they put the Resident Evil Resistance on. They could do a multiplayer Resident Evil 0 and 1 when they get the chance to do. But hey, don't forget the Resident Evil regional. Resident Evil doesn't want that, and that's why they postponed M2. M2 could have done Resident Evil 5. They could have done Resident Evil 3 came out. Resident Evil 3 was made by a different team. Because that's why the fans didn't understand that M2 released 1 year later. They have another team, you know. They kind of listen more than the original Resident Evil team. And the Resident Evil just did a Resident Evil 4 remake. And even they has been goofing around, you know. That's why the movies did the CGI. They did they're independent on their own. They're still with Resident Evil. I'm just saying that they did a good job with the Resident Evil Death Island and Mandela. Mandela was released in the movie theaters, you know. And they should allow M2, you know. M2 started a hype train. Resident Evil 2 Remake did, but if M2 hadn't made Resident Evil 3 Remake, because some players wants to play it because they're like, maybe they don't want to wait more long, and then after that they won't be decide to not buy any or play because they will kind of older type of way. And that's why the Resident Evil 3 Remake came out. It came out, Resident Evil 3 Remake. And Resident Evil 3 Remake came out, you know? And because of M2. M2 and then multiplayer. They did the exact same as Resident Evil Deadly Silence. That was abandoned so long. No remaster, no rebirth from Resident Evil 0. No, like giving others, making a chance and have them have Resident Evil to do the series again. That's why M2 see it. I think they were smart and they made Resident Evil 3 Remake and they made the Resistance. They made Resident Evil Resistance and Resident Evil 3 Remake. It's separate. It's free. It's not free. It's come with it. You know, it's good. And Resident Evil 0 could have co-op. You know, Resident Evil 1 also could have co-op. It could be separate or what. It could still be single player, but no content. No, remove the important dialogue, multiple choices that was missing. Resident Evil 3 Remake, like, I see why. Maybe the original Resident Evil team should do Resident Evil 3. I'm not sure because I've seen the result, I see result, that's it, that I was playing, and content, like what, the original Resident Evil did Resident Evil 4 now, Resident Evil 4 Remake. They brought like the former Resident Evil to do the Resident Evil 4, and it's good. They probably do Resident Evil 5 also. I think it will be like 2 years, the same as Resident Evil 4 Remake, and it will come out. That's good in that. M2 could do 1 year later, you know. M2 could really do that if they want. Because that's the difference between the original Resident Evil and M2. And they could do Resident Evil 0. I don't see Resident Evil Village come out. They did the multiplayer because they saw Resident Evil 3 Remake M2. They did the Resistance online. And I didn't know if Resident Evil 0 and 1 would be. They could put co-op, the forest. They could do zombies. They could put the engine or something, RE engine or Unreal Engine 5 for the Resident Evil 0 1, because Resident Evil 0 was like the example, and Resident Evil 1 the remake. The original Resident Evil 0 1 remake is different, and I'm not sure if they're gonna make a sequel to Resident Evil 0 of Rebecca Chambers' Nightmare or something where she went to the mansion. Is it gonna be playable? Will be playable to play? And the Spider-Man, there's like Spider-Man, this Venom, this Miles Morales. It started, you know, it's all thanks to the DC superheroes like Batman, Superman, the Red Hood, Teen Titans, the Spider-Man and stuff, and Avengers, and that's why you get the hype train. They brought the original team of Resident Evil. What correct? No, they brought the Resident Evil. No, the Marvel brought the original like stars or something to beat them. Resident Evil hasn't. They hadn't. Like they did. Joining Claire and Chris Redfield and Wesker in Resident Evil Welcome Raccoon City. But I don't want to go serious, and that wasn't good, you know. Then the players has to wait long. Like I said, Switch, like that's why they have a fighting game called Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, Resident Evil have an animation. Infinite Darkness was the last thing before it was rebooted, and then no one hasn't take charge of the animation, the CGI animation no more since the creator left. Um, Resident Zero. I was missing. Well, only if I was like still kind of, if I was still like there and like before the 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 team, one of the Resident left of the series. If I was like still around, kind of like is a pretend, if I was still was there for Resident Evil, does it have something to say about? You know, would I put like Resident Evil with Chris before that was rebooted? But no, so it's too late. You know, it's too late to talk about Resident Zero and One and the mansion, the scariness. Resident Zero, what it was, Code Veronica was from the original. The how it was, Resident Code Veronica, and Resident Zero and One. I like them more in Resident 3 remake. And I like the original Resident 3, Resident 4, Resident Zero, 1. They were good, you know. They were really good, you know. I think PlayStation 2 was good. I see why it's so different than the how the content is removed and stuff. No updates, no DLC. PlayStation 2, I don't know who was in charge of PlayStation 2. It was success. That's the reason why it's so successful, you know. I see why it was better, you know. And PlayStation 1. Who's in charge of PlayStation 1? PlayStation 2 was good, you know. To say thank you because you brought like Resident Evil 4 in full content, no remove. And Resident 3 and Resident 2 and 1 and Resident 0 was just different, was gone, and then the remake came for Resident 0 for GameCube. Deadly Silence was abandoned and it hasn't been revived. They have a rebirth, but Resident 0, Resident 1 could have Resident 0 and Resident 1 could have rebirth. I just want to see, is that like trying to change the story, you know? I just want to see the Stars true story, you know? What had happened to Stars members, Bravo team, who came to the mansion first? Not Bravo team because this was another team, but that's why when Resident 0 and shooting off the zombies, they look like Stars. Oh, they're from Stars? Oh, I don't know who they were, you know? Before Resident Evil Mansion became zombies, I would like to see in the beginning. This is the beginning, you know? Not be playable, but could be like a cutscene to see of like how, who were they? Were they Stars? Because when I was doing zombies, they look Stars. Or they look like, not Bravo team, but maybe Delta or something, maybe not, I'm not sure. And Billy Colin, that's what we was saying so much to have a storyline, for Resident Evil, Billy Colin and the Spider-Man. It's good, you know. That's why they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back. I don't think Marvel dislikes Spider-Man. That I think they do like Spider-Man. It's just that maybe it's good, you know, because they brought Miles Morales. They brought it's good, the Spider-Man, you know. But it take a while, you know. But it's good. But Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 4 was made by the original Resident Evil. They probably take long, you know. Resident 3 was good, you know. Resident 3, they would have had a director cut. If Resident Evil didn't interfere into Hype Train or started Resident Evil 3, they would have Resident Resistance. They would have put like Resident Evil 4 already. That kind of content, maybe not. They would have all of it in. They would have put Resident Evil 0 and 1. They would have put multiplayer, how the 3DS has, Deadly Silence. Would have put that in Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1. They would have multiplayer for the players. They would have brought like how they showed the example of Resident Resistance. They could have used that for Resident Evil 0 1, like a survival horror outbreak type of way from Resident Evil 0 1. But the forest, where monsters could come by, that won't make it hard. I already mentioned this from the previous video. I don't think Resident Evil will listen, you know. I just will be on Marvel, and play, and but I still will play Resident Evil, but I'm not gonna kind of like already explaining this. That's it. Rebecca Chambers, Resident Evil, Billy Corgan, the live action Resident Evil 0 that they mentioned, but hasn't continued, hadn't heard of the series or movie of Resident Evil 0 would be Billy Corgan, Resident Evil, and Rebecca Chambers. Will they put stars? Will they put like some famous stars to be the characters? Because like I said, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1 already was like them. They already exist, you know. They already made like a type of movie thing. I think Telltale Games could bring Spider-Verse. If they don't want to do like an action similar to Spider-Man, I was making, Telltales could copy, they could do the same graphics of the movies. It'll be CGI, but it will be multiple choices, you know, and then you have to do reaction. You have to, like how similar to The Walking Dead of Clementine, the final season. It will be like that, you know. Telltales, I think they could do a Marvel thing, but the graphics won't be similar to like the Batman or the Clementine series of The Walking Dead, the final season. That one. It would be more like the movie of the CGI if they do that. And then they have to do choices, and then reaction, and then block, and then for Morales, and then they would have done that, but they didn't, you know. There's another other one that did Until Dawn sequel and stuff, and multiple choices that did their thing. That's why they brought it back. 2 brought it back since Resident Evil 3, the original, did have multiple choices and story thing. I know Resident Evil 0, Spider-Man already is doing, they will reboot the series. I really hope that they do something with the Spider-Verse series. It's very good. 2099 should have his own show maybe, because he's a good hero. But I'm a fan only, a hero, and I didn't want they kill off like Peter Parker. I don't know what they're gonna do with 2099. I only relate to what 2099 saying. He's the one that get it all together. Like only that one, I like that, and I like that only of what 2099 say and the character speaking of. like doing all the work by himself and have no one to help him. He kind of did, but but overall he does it on his own. And he tell Miles Morales not to be a bad guy. 2099 tell Miles Morales that you weren't supposed to be Spider-Man, you know. But hey, 2099 didn't interfere the comic event or canon event where 2099 would have done. I think he made one mistake only on that. Would have done something. He was just watching. He would have come in and helped Spider-Man from and save Peter Parker and have Miles Morales to not beat Spider-Man. But I think he just wanted to watch. That's it. I I now know that 2099 does watch the multiverse. So now he's part of the movies. They could kill off the superheroes. It could happen like how they did Peter Parker. I'm not sure how it will end up with 2099 and then across the Spider-Verse. And like Resident Evil, it doesn't want like to be part of like the series and the movies. But hey, Vocal Recon City did. But they would take forever. I really hope Marvel doesn't kind of make the same part as Resident Evil does, and try to put the reboot series come back, and that take like more time. Like M2, like they released that, and then Resident Evil M2, the Resident 3 remake. I had recently see an update on Resident Evil 3. I saw it in when turn on the console. Resident Evil 3 recently had an update, a remake, but it's nothing interesting because I just see updates only. No director cut, you know? The Last of Us does. Last of Us Part 2 did have a director cut. They will have a director cut. So I probably will look forward to that. Because they have like tournament, they have that one life mode that's very difficult. It has that. Resident Evil 4 has it. They have it, but it's in demo. And not in. They don't want to put an update. I don't know why they're so restricted on that. Of trying to put an update on Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 3 Remake keep getting updates. Why can't Resident Evil 4 has it? I'm not Spider-Man, you know. I'm not gonna say like, oh, Batman, you know. Oh, why Resident Evil 4 don't have an update on the chainsaw mode that most players requesting? Put it in the game, but no. Resident Evil 3 Remake keep getting updates later on and such. It was not a hint for me. Oh, the director cut is coming. Not really. This is an update that I heard a bunch of time. Resident Evil 4 should have updates and put like and not shut it down, but put like a chainsaw mode for once. To put in Resident Evil 4 Remake now. You already put the DLC of Ada Wong. Why not put the update now for Resident Evil 4 Remake? Marvel. Between those two series, Spider-Man, the first one I really liked because it has there was a lot of DLC. Then Miles Morales didn't have a lot of DLC. Or maybe the players didn't ask for, or I hope that Spider-Man 2 had DLCs, just like Spider-Man 1. That's why I like this Spider-Man. I like this Spider-Man to come back. That's why I wanted him to come back now, because he's finished his vacation. Now he's with Miles Morales. I really hope they put DLCs for Spider-Man 2. It's like Spider-Man 1. This is Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 2 is... They say it's Spider-Man 2. Miles Morales is Spider-Man 2, you know? This is 3 now. I really hope Venom hunt Spider-Man, Miles Morales, you know? I really want that. I really want to see Venom do something. Like something special, unique. And have some spotlight on Miles Morales and Spider-Man, but the most I like to see both, you know? To see them struggle, you know? It's missing. Resident Evil 4 remake did, you know? I really like that more. I like that when they finally accept the story of having the character struggle, because Code Veronica is like that. That's what Resident Evil was. Resident Evil Code Veronica, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, and 3. 2, like I say, I like 2. I like it. Resident Evil 2. But like I said, the original Resident Evil hasn't made a Resident Evil for a long time. Since Revelation 2. Resident Evil 7 they did. But the reimagined Resident Evil 2 they did. But they count like content. It was good, it was successful. That's DLC. Resident Evil 4 will have DLC now. M2, Resident Evil 3 remake. There will be a next Resident Evil for Resident Evil 3 remake. Just have to wait. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, they will have content. I see if they don't remove the team of Resident Evil, then they would do well, you know, just like Resident Evil 4 did. The story they finally accept, having Leon struggle, having to take care, saving. That's good, you know. I would like that, you know. I'm not a good like a fan of Leon. I just like the character. That's it. Doesn't mean I just want to see and like how. Like, want to see the villain to get him struggle, but hey, the hero will still save. You know, just want to see Leon struggle. That's it. Spider-Man, Venom. I want to see. You know, I want to see Spider-Man. He will still survive. It's just that I want to see Venom do something special. That's it. And Spider-Man get maybe hunted. That'd be cool to see getting hunted. Or Resident Evil 0. Billy Colin getting hunted because they were coming after him and then he escaped. Vendetta. I don't know if they're gonna put Resident Evil 6 is better, you know, because Jake Mueller was and how they were trying to get him. Yeah, it's like Resident Evil. Marvel with Venom, Spider-Man. Perhaps it's a multiverse. Like I said, this Spider-Man is good. Like I say, I already finished with the game. I kind of focusing on the movies, on the Resident Evil. The Death Island. I saw the movie. The character struggle. Chris Redfield, is different than Leon. That's why I like Chris Redfield. I'm glad I was just a Chris Redfield player only, and not Leon, because Leon got killed off in the Game Boy. Billy Colin is still missing. That's too much. I see why they say they're lazy, because that would be too much of this going serious again. Marvel is serious, you know? And they brought Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, PS4. I didn't saw the Superior Spider-Man was in the PS4 against this Spider-Man. Would have done that in an extra DLC. They probably will put it on someday. Resident Zero, like they're split, you know. They're like just giving too much chances. Like I said, the movie took over. This is the reason why they took over. They did the Death Island and Vendetta. They did a good job with the characters, like knowing the characters, knowing how they are, and that's why like they did the Vendetta, they did the Death Island. They made it good. They put the villain what was in Cobra. I think they saw it. They saw the series, but they saw just the important how it was Resident Evil was. They put the villain back. They put the main characters again. Then aging them. Vandella was Resident Evil Death Island. They made Chris Redfield older. And then Vandella is different. He's a bit younger. 81 is no. 81 is okay, but I have like don't want to see much of it of 81. So focus on the main characters, you know. That's why Jill Valentine is returning. Jill Valentine is returning, and that's good. Along with Chris Redfield and the original team. Revelation 3. What timeline will take place? Not sure. Like, if it's Vendetta in Revelation 3, that's my guess. If it is, if not, no. Resident Zero. They will make it hard how Resident Evil 4 was. They put it very hard in Resident Evil 4. Resident Zero, perhaps it will be harder. I really hope I will not jinx it. I really hope they put that one life mode for Resident Zero and Resident Evil 1 in it. But if they don't want to put updates, I just want to gonna say it now because what if it's too late and then the demo comes out, then you only will have the cheat codes. Maybe they still will put cheat codes in to put the one life mode again. The chainsaw mode would be similar in the Resident Zero 1 demo, and then you could use the cheat code again for Resident Zero 1. That's kind of like a request, like a guest thing, direction that I'm saying, and that it will be there. Then just myself as a player, just will put that to the players will be able to play it. Because Resident Evil 4 remake, I don't see others talk about Resident Evil 4 chainsaw mode demo, and that's a big thing, you know. And we want to play it, but it's only focusing on the OG players. And maybe if I have to say something, then I put that in Resident Evil 1, and then put that mode in it. I'm not like trying to change the story or anything. I just seeing the difficulty of the Resident Evil 4 remake demo, chainsaw mode, and then there's not any updates on any of like how in Resident Evil 4 remake. And if Resident Evil 1 should have it, you know, and have cheat codes in it, or it's unlockable for one life only, and call it like I don't know what mode it is, maybe chainsaw mode or whatever, rebirth mode in Resident Evil 1. With puzzles, returning, difficult, similar to Deadly Silence, gameplay, universe of Resident Evil that's not like the universe of Resident Evil similar to like The Last of Us. Difficult, and have players to backtracking. Do puzzles that they could surprise them. I don't think they would do that. Final Fantasy is doing a rebirth. They kind of listen Final Fantasy to Resident Evil. Resident Evil did the like collaboration. Final Fantasy did a Marvel. They they put co-op in Resident Evil. The Final Fantasy and phone. Final Fantasy X would have been multiplayer. You know, each 4 characters will be the player favorite character. Um, like they could choose like Tyson, Yuna, Ori, but it would be different. No, all of them have to not be the same. You know, you host. It's just that randomly. It's the players will be the players that they're gonna be. You know, they're gonna be Ori or Yuna, and then they play Seymour. And imagine like a multiplayer online, but it'll be the campaign of Final Fantasy. It's just one life. You know, the hardest level, Final Fantasy X, and then you play as. But it'll be the original PlayStation 2 Final Fantasy X. You know, and it'll be harder, and then you play against Seymour, and then game over. You know. Your teammates are like Ori. I don't know how many players could be. You know, someone could be Komari or whatever, following up the path of the campaign, and then they switch off to save their teammates. They switch, you know, and then the player is not playing, and they'll be who's playing as the characters. But I think they will not do that. That's why Marvel did this their thing with the what if they would have done it, like a type of Final Fantasy thing in it, like against the superheroes, you know, it'd be like that, similar to the show. But no, Final Fantasy could do that too with their Final Fantasy X, where it just take turns, you know, you play as your favorite characters or whatever, and then you on a journey. But I don't think Final Fantasy would do that. But in phone, they put co-op online. I don't know. I didn't see it's up to 3 players. It says first soldier they brought. I think Final Fantasy is kind of listening more than Resident Evil. Final Fantasy is kind of similar to Resident Evil with the Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve. I don't know what they're gonna do with. They did put Final Fantasy Battle Royale on phone. They go in that direction before Resident Evil was starting to. When Resident Evil is starting to put uh Final Fantasy and Resident Evil later did collaboration, but that's it. And they released Mega Man Dive. I think Mega Man Dive is independent. I'm not sure of it, but it is. It brought back because the difficulty on characters and stuff. And let's brought it back and not shut it down, like how Marvel Future Revolution did. I think Marvel and Final Fantasy kind of listen. I don't know about Resident Evil with Mega Man because it's independent on its own. It has no one to say about that. They did their own like independent, similar to Resident Evil did with the series of Resident Evil Veronica, Resident Evil Zero One, Marvel Future Revolution. I don't know why they shut down, but now they're bringing and then Final Fantasy First Soldier was cancelled, both games was shut down, they kind of listened. So they're bringing Resident Evil on iPhone 15 Pro, or where Resident Evil, no, where Final Fantasy will listen again. Put First Soldier. I don't know about that. I don't know if they're gonna put First Soldier, Battle Royale, Final Fantasy again, or Marvel bringing back Future Revolution again. Both games were good. It's just that the players didn't support it. Didn't support it. That's why it got canceled. But I think Final Fantasy finally listened. Like they were similar to Resident Evil. They weren't kind of listening at all. Like they're doing their thing. But now they finally listen. Just like Marvel did. And then did Marvel Future Revolution. And then it did Final Fantasy First Soldier. And then it came out. And it's good. It finally came out. Both series. Silent Deadly Sins did a collaboration. They have a sequel. Just like Marvel is doing, where Marvel never list Marvel's animation kind of not listen no more, and then finally listen, and then put a sequel of the Spider-Verse. Resident Evil hasn't put any update. Only Resident Evil 3 Remake always has updates, but that's it. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 0 is gonna be hard, to see Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, the most best. Resident Evil 4 is also best. It does feel like more like Resident Evil this generation. That's good, That's why M2 was there before it was removed. They were there, and they kind of listened to the fans, kind of. I think they did, and they put in right before Resident Evil started to come in, and then they kicked them out. But at least they did it quick, They came in and they came quick, and they put the smartness, they put the hardness, they put the make the AI smart and be harder for the player to play. It will be kind of easy because the original Resident Evil, the enemies always respawn all the time. And the Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1 will probably have a hard time. Perhaps it will be the hardest of all. Because how Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2 Remake is an example of kind of the mistake of cutting content and not go serious. I don't want to put stuff in it or stuff. Resident Evil 1 will perhaps have the hardest. Who will take over Resident Evil 0 and 1? Who will try to make it good? Similar to Resident Evil 4 Remake? Because they brought the former team of Resident Evil. That's why they did it, and even got help from Platinum Games and stuff. And maybe Naughty Dog also. I'm not sure. And Call of Duty from Resident Evil Village. Tencent. Call of Duty Mobile. Who will will take care of Resident Evil 0 and 1? Will take over? Who will be in charge of that? Over the series of Resident Evil 0 and 1? And will put the pictures in that cut content. Resident Evil 4 they knew their mistake of cutting content because everyone's now watching. That's why they put the Spider-Verse. It did well. That's it. I just want to talk about that in the series of Resident Zero and then Spider-Man. In the comic, they made their own mini series for the console of Spider-Man, and they had Superior Spider-Man. Marvel brought Superior Spider-Man to the PS console. That'd be cool if they could put a DLC of Superior Spider-Man. What it could be. What if Superior Spider-Man came over to this? But it would be like a flashback. They could just talking. Maybe it could be, and then they put a flashback that exists of Spider-Man versus Superior Spider-Man. Venom would be good, you know.